Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to do the defense replays. Well, there's not really much, to be perfectly honest. There's really just two replays. But we're going to talk a little bit about the maps. And actually, you know what? Before we get into that, I kind of wanted to talk about Miss Lin here. Because I'm pretty sure you have seen it. There have been people using Lin on Aether's defense. And I just wonder if we're going to get to a point where things are just gonna get weird. Because think about this, for example, right? Lin's a light mythic, but is used on defense because defense doesn't really have any penalties, other than you could lose points if you lose. But if you don't lose, then there's really no penalty. As opposed to offense using like a defensive mythic, right? You'd actually lose points, or you would cap out on your points because, yeah. Just because you're using a mythic that can't run the blessing. But the reason why I said it's weird is what would happen to counter that, right? For example, let's say IS makes like a light mythic to counter Freyja, who's an anima mythic, because he's being used on defense in light and dark season. Like, that'll be weird to see stuff that counters Freyja in light season. But also, it'll be weird to get a new light mythic that counters Lin, because we expect to see Lin on defense in Dark Season. You get what I'm trying to say? Or it's just like, are we gonna start to have counters to all mythics like in all seasons because we expect people to run stuff off season? Or I guess that what they could do is they could do what they did with Duma and Boulder and Hodir, where they just make their skills only work in certain like seasons and stuff. So people won't be using it like in, you know, different scenarios that is or isn't intended. I mean, it hurts creativity a bit, but I don't know. I think maybe they should just put some kind of penalty on defense for, I don't know. It just feels like, it's just kind of weird. I don't want it to penalize where people don't want to do it, but maybe the penalty just so that, you know, there's some weird things. 'Cause there could be a point. I don't think Lin is at that point, but there could be a point where there's just some defense mythics or some off-season mythics that are just too powerful in the setting that they're in. But again, it hurts creativity too, so you don't want to mess with it too much. But I just thought it's still kind of interesting that like defense doesn't really have any penalty that offense does. But again, offense has the benefit of having a person, a real life person. Well, if it's me, then maybe there's no real benefit. But anyway, we have 3 wins. The first one's kind of is a surrender, so I'm just gonna skip it for now. Or yeah, I'll skip it for now. We'll just do the other 2. We have 2 defenses. They're drastically different, but has some interesting elements that you guys might find interesting. I did spend a bit, but I haven't done a video in a while, or it's like a week, but anyway, haven't done it in a while, so I just wanted to do something a little bit different for here. So let's take a look at this defense. This defense does have 2 new units in there. No Camilla in here. The bonus slot is Medius here. But let's go through it. At first you see that obviously we have Aether here, who's going to be giving Magic Twin Save to, yes, you guessed it, Freyja. Freyja is the Magic Twin Save. How I got her to have enough res here with Rhea and Saline and stuff, don't worry about it. But anyway, we have Aether here. He does have the Erica Ring, and he has a Slick Rider. I mean, he will probably struggle against young Camilla, but he just basically needs to tank at least 1 hit so that Rhea can at least protect him on the second hit, unless she runs Fatal Smoke. Then whatever, it's just an issue. But anyway, that's just how Aether is. We have Freyja here. She does have the Lin Ring, and she has this to get more res, and so she can be the Magic Twin Save, essentially, as you can see here. The Twin Savior effect is here. She has Close Bonus Doubler. Now, I believe in order to counter the Lin Ring, so if someone's using the Lin Ring, let me see who has the Lin Ring here. So Lin. If Lin attacks from here on turn 2, Freyja actually can't fight back, because on the Lin Ring clause, they need basically distant counter. So that's what the A skill's for, is to counter that, I believe. Otherwise, you can just attack with the Lin Ring and Freyja can't fight back. We have not one cleanser with Saline, but we have 2 cleansers. So we have Valencia, the new Valencia. She also has this skill, the favor skill. So I fought her my Crom to, I believe, Tharja, which I had like 3 copies of, and I gave Tharja to another Attune rearm that I had 2 copies of, and essentially Valencia ended up as one of them because she gives out empathy, and I believe because she gives out empathy just normally, people will get some extra damage, so that's why she has it. And I believe Vital Astra is how you can get damage reduction on Lucia characters, so that's why we just have that there. I also have Saline here. As you can tell, she has the Solid Ground 4 and Life or Death. Basically, you just want to reduce her res so that Freyja can actually get the Magic Twin save, because Saline actually has too high of a res. She's not... well, I don't have really any other B skill to give her other than Havoc. But her res is going to be a little bit lower, so it might not be that effective. But yeah, also she has Silence Ward to help out with, you know, any characters that have sweep effects. So yeah, that's also there. And then I said Valencia. We also have Embla here. Embla, I kind of just put her in here. Okay, I couldn't put Loki in here, obviously, as someone who likes Loki. I can't, because her res is way too high that there's nothing I can do in order to bring her down, or Freyja could be the Magic Twin save. So I had to use other characters, so Embla is one of them. This will help out. She has some stuff. She also has the Cleansing with Harsh Command to help cleanse some stuff. Actually, I don't even know why she has Harsh Command if she has a cleanse anyway, but I guess I wasn't thinking about the rally effects, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, she has that. We have Rhea here, who also has to run Life and Death. Even Life and Death 3 doesn't really matter because it's still -5. And the Solid Ground, just so she can get her res low enough. Freyja is basically beating all their res by 1, by the way. And she has Breath of Life because I've given that to her in the past when I used her on Chaos Season. And I have Boulder here. I don't know why I took her out at first and I put her back in. It's like, oh, wait a minute. She doesn't even have high res anyway. I had Medius because I wanted to protect against... what's it called? Bolt Tower. But his res was literally like 1 higher than Freyja. No, it was exactly the same res as Freyja, so they both got Magic Twin save at the same time. And yeah, that was not working. Also too, so for people that don't know, before you enter into the match, like, you know, when you like select your team, that screen, the res that's shown there, I learned this the hard way. That is the res that's being calculated for Magic Twin save. So if your unit is not within 2 spaces of Aether at that point, then you just don't have any Magic Twin save. But whoever has the highest res at that point, that's who it's going to be targeting. So that's why it's targeting Freyja here. If Freyja was like 3 spaces away from Aether, then basically no one will have Magic Twin save. So in case you're wondering why your units don't have Magic Twin save, is because, yeah, that's the reason why. And yeah, that's basically all this team is. We're basically just locked in here. We want this fortress to be here to prevent anyone from using the Lin Ring as a magic user to attack Valencia, because she's open. Otherwise, it's going to be on Aether. So that's why we have this here to prevent people from going there. Other than that, not really that much of a big deal. Yeah, we can protect against Bolt Tower. Actually, no, we can. That's why we have Medius here. Now, the interesting thing that I had to do was actually had to merge my level 40 Medius with another level 1 Medius to make him level 1 again, because his res was way too high. So he can protect against Bolt Tower for these units here, which are the main ones. And his res won't be that high because he's level 1. So anyway, that's the idea. Legendary Camilla, +4 with the, what's that, Makai ring? Rustfelger +2. Lin, dual Lin +6, lethality, and the Lin ring herself, Askar +3, Milla +3, and the new, I forgot what's called, yeah, Mythic Lin +1, all right, with the cornering. So I believe they kind of just go on this side. It's not really going to be that much combat here. I know people don't know if people are auto dispatching or not. I can't really tell. They just do something weird, but it's really hard to tell. It looks like, I mean, they're doing at least something, so there is some strategy here. So it's hard to tell when that's, I don't know. I don't think it is, but who knows at this point. Anyway, so you see we have level 1 Medius. He protects against Bull Tower, and his res isn't that high, but I mean, he has barricade, so he doesn't really need any stats for that, but that's just basically the idea with him. But yeah, before I have him level 40, but we obviously don't want that. So yeah, Legendary Camille is just gonna attack against Freyja here, and then she just dies. So again, this is why I don't know. They clearly chose this, and Freyja just takes her out without any issues. Maybe they just didn't like Camilla, or they want to see her damage her. Maybe something like that. All right, and then this one's gonna have a lot more action here. There's actually a lot of good temps here, but we'll talk about this here. So this defense is a little bit different. And we have double Loki here. I used to use it in the past, but now we have it back again because obviously I don't have Rather, who's bonus, so I have to use what I have at my disposal. This is like my main defense. This one has again Loki in columns 2 and 5, so deletes all these buffs that the enemy team has. So as you can tell, Lynn usually has buffs, both Lynns have buffs, but they're all gone here. Alright, so you have Loki. One has Bouquet Baton and has the Call to Serve, which helps out with extra damage. People have neutralized foe bonuses, which Aether does give. He does have Shield Fighter on this team because we do not want to give Magic Twin Save to anyone because Korn here has Magic Twin Save herself. So yeah, Aether basically has Shield Fighter. He's just here to protect against young Camilla. On that, if he dies to anyone else, who cares? If he dies to Boulder, who cares? If he dies to Lynn, who cares? He's just here to protect against young Camilla, essentially. Yeah, we have the corner on Loki on this side. We have young Camilla herself. She has Hardy Bearing, which is counterproductive with Trample, but you know, there's not really that much of an A skill that I can give her that's going to be that much drastically different. We have Erica Ring and Celestial Form. She should get Celestial Form because of the rally from Aether, because she gives an extra charge, so that's why she has Hardy Bearing in case there's any Mart teams. Well, actually, they won't work that well because there's Loki here, but anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, Loki. This other Loki has the Speed Res Havoc. This is the one that's going to be attacking with the Lin Ring. Also has Ice Lock just in case. And yeah, Aether, Miracle. Distant Defense, Lagu's friend. Basically, she's here to try and tank Emblem Lin, because if she dies, Aether is probably the most important person here, and honestly, probably one of the most important characters right now in Aether period, because Divine Nectar is still very good. Obviously, you can use the Makai Ring as a substitute, but for this team in particular, she is the most precious person. If she dies, the whole thing kind of falls apart, because she's the one that's giving Camilla the extra action, essentially. So she needs to survive. We have Valencia here, who has Bulwark and Spiked Wall, which I think I have two versions of this map, and I messed up, but basically I forgot that she gives out empathy, so I usually had her have the favorite skill, but whatever. She has Spiked Wall this time, and she also has Deflect Missile. Korn here, nothing too particular, and yeah, that's just basically how my map is. So we have Lucina, Miracle, I do that, Layla, Hardy Bearing, Lynn, Wind Sweep, and Fatal Smoke, but we don't actually have the the Science Ward on this team. Lynn here, other Lynn, Mythic Lynn, Peony +4, and Lumera +8. So this is actually pretty similar to stuff I run. Oh, well, also the Corn Ring. Okay, so let's see how many buffs do we have. So we have 2 cleansers here, right? No, we have 1 cleanser here. You have 1 cleanser here. So can't counter, so that the Wind Sweep effect from Layla is on us. Is the save skill on us? It looks like it is. Oh, no, there's not on this one. So Aether has more debuff, so let's see. So Lumera is going to break something here. Gonna put exposure debuff, and as you can tell, going for Aether, because Aether is definitely gonna be the most important one here. Gotta get rid of her, make it more predictable. She tanks 1 hit. Lagu's friend, that helps out. And even though she has Fatal Smoke does not work against specials with Miracle, so this is a very good choice by me. We're able to survive Lynn. The only thing about this team is that we don't have Boulder out at the initial start, so they can do this multiple turns. But also because we have double Loki, Lynn does not have the extra 2 range to be able to do anything weird here, so yep, that's how it's gonna be. Now, I did see this replay. I'm actually surprised. Oh, I wasn't really sure as to why. Maybe there's just one in the debuff. Actually, let me pause it for a second. Ah, okay. So on turn 1, there was anti-save on Aether, but there's no anti-save on Aether on this turn. I guess Layla was not close enough to like it spread to someone else or something like that, or something else got cleansed because it doesn't have it on Aether on this turn. Because I was wondering why Lynn did not attack the second time with her emblem ring. Yeah, so they basically just moved back. Alright, and now turn 3, they have another peony, let me see, what's this called? Attune? Yeah, Attune. A lot of good skills though. I'm really liking the shadow shift on healers, or not healers, dancers, that's what I do. Alright, anyway. So what they're gonna do as many debuffs as they can. They're gonna take out Aether now. They really want Aether gone. They really want Aether gone. Because now all that's left is basically keeping Camilla out of range, essentially.
Pleasant dreams.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I think they just ran out of actions though. So Lynn again can't attack with 2 spaces. Gonna have to move in, but gets danced by Peony. Gets danced by second Peony. Aether is gonna get swept here. He does his best.
In one shot.
In one shot, let's see how much damage it does. 0. Let's see how much damage it does. 0. Let's see how much damage it does. 0. Alright, now he died though. That's Shield Fighter. Anyway, so we're gonna dance Lynn here. I think Lynn would want to attack Camilla, but probably is scared of what would happen after. Everyone will be able to chase after. But Camilla basically is still in range, so she can take out Lucina here. Doesn't have a miracle, but Camilla has 5 hits just like Lynn did. So 180. Eventually gonna catch up, and Loki's gonna warp and take out Peony here. Alright, and then it's not gonna be in range of anyone else. And we have Loki gonna be deleting all the buffs from everyone besides the Emblem Lynn, and that's gonna be enough. So yep, they just thought from that point wasn't worth it. And yeah, so also for the first replay that I kind of skipped over, this is just an instant surrender, but I believe it's because of Camilla basically doesn't have the savior, so she can be attacked, because I think that's why Emblem Lynn was here. It's also here on the other turn too. But I believe we were just too tanky at this point with their skills, so they didn't see any way to do anything here. But yeah, even Camilla might have been able to survive this with just, you know, because I'm not sure if Camilla or if Lynn would have hit multiple times. She probably would have just hit once. I think Camilla might have been able to survive with her damage reduction. So yeah, that's how that ended. Yeah, that's it. That's the defense replay so far. So yeah, that's it. I'm recording this during lunch, so I'm finish this and get back to work. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.